Okay, now that we've got both of these back up, let's send our Control-Alt-Delete, and you can see that we've got crochet JC/administrator. So we are now connected to a domain, unlike before where it just said administrator. And that one's going to log in for me, and we're going to do the same thing over here, and we will see that it says Media JC. Shouldn't take too long for these to come up. Now if we go to local server, you can see that there's the computer name and there's the domain for it. So now we've got a little bit of housekeeping to do with things here. Let's open command prompt because it's a couple, or at least one number we're going to need here. Type ipconfig. All right, so we are on server 1 at the moment. As you can see, when I type hostname, and this number here is going to be important because DNS wants to talk to itself. It wants to look to its own server to get the information. Some would say it has an ego. So that is the IP address for server 1. And type it again over here, ipconfig and host name. See, we're on server 2, and there's the IP address for this one, right here. So because I'm on the same network, the only thing that's really going to change is the last octet there. But at that point, we're going to go there. This is ncpa.cpl. It's a quick way to get to your networking. We're going to go into properties here. And since we're not using it, we're just going to turn off IPv6, gets rid of the noise on the network, and so forth. We're going to go to properties. Now you notice that the preferred DNS server is nowhere near this number. So that's something we're going to have to fix. In this case, let's wipe that out. We had 10.252.53.62. After that, I'm going to go to advanced, and I'm going to jump over to DNS. And at that point, we're going to edit this, and this one is crochet jc.prv. I'm going to copy that because I'm going to need it again here in just a second. And I want it to use this connection, DNS suffix, with DNS registration. All right, crochet jc.prv. And it's pointed to the right location. Type OK, click OK rather, and close out of that. At this point, I'm going to do a quick clear of my screen. I'm going to go ipconfig /flush DNS. That cleared that out. Now we're going to go ns lookup. Now you can see we're not completely set up yet because of the fact that it has no idea what the server name is. So we're going to exit out of that for a minute. Come down here, close that out. We're going to come to the Microsoft Management Console. File, add or remove snap-in. We want Active Directory users and computers, and we want DNS. And we also are going to want, I believe, this one. We will need that when it comes time to set up our trust. But for right now, what we are interested in is DNS. Let's try to move this over so we can get a little bit more of a view of what's going on here. Sometimes it can be a little persnickety. All right, forward lookup zones. You can see right there, crochet, JC. If I move this over, you can even see the IP address of it. Right now, I'm going to see if I can just, there we go, just make that full screen for us. However, if I go to reverse, there is no reverse lookup zone yet, which, as most of us will know, it's kind of important. It's basically, rather than converting a name to an IP, you're converting an IP to a name. So we're going to set up a primary zone. We're going to keep the defaults here, all DNS servers. It's going to be an IPv4. And in our case, everything here starts 252.53, so 10.252.53. And because this is an education environment, we're going to allow both non-secure and secure dynamic updates. And in the real world, you'd probably stick with things that were secure. And finish. Now we're going to come back up to here with crochet, and we're going to right click and go to properties. We want to update this with a pointer record. Click apply, close. Now if we come down here and we were to refresh things, we will see right there, 10.252.53.62 comes right over to here. So now let's minimize that for a minute. Bring this back up, and let's flush the DNS real quick. And now we can see that. So now if I was to type 10.252.53.62, we can see that. And if I type crochet jc.prv, it can find it that way. So I am going to stop this video here. The only thing that's going to change, really, and the reason I'm not going to go through it, is the other DNS server is also going to point to itself. So it's going to be a 115 at the end, and it's going to be mediajc.prv instead of crochet.jc. So there's really not much left to see there. So I will come back with part 3 when I am ready to actually start connecting the trust. See you in the next video.